Hello students, this is Module 13, Higher Order Thinking. And you'll hear often in your placements that your principals will ask you to please add rigor to make your lessons more rigorous. And in the Common Core, higher order thinking is a mandate. So as you combine what you're learning, have already learned with what you will be learning, this particular module is asking you to focus in on how do you create lessons that have the kind of rigor that have our students think. So to move forward, the focus TPEs are looking at appropriate teaching practices and making content accessible. The brain rules here are how the brain actually makes sense of information by connecting with an experience or prior knowledge. The way you introduce a lesson is critical to how the student will be able to receive the lesson and make sense of it. The second brain rule is that the more real-world application you can make of any teaching and learning opportunity, the more the receiver of that information will be able to embrace, comprehend, and retain the information. So you're going to want to connect that learning to how people learn. That's the whole point here. People learn, and these are some of the things you have to put into your lessons in order to make it possible for them to learn. 21st century skills are the 4 C's. The module time for this is 2 weeks, and this is a collaborative module. Module elements. You're going to look at your science curriculum. You're going to investigate differentiation. You're going to really become grounded in Bloom's taxonomy, what inductive teaching and inquiry teaching is about, problem solving and exploration in lesson planning. The introduction for this module is that I want you, or it wants you, to consider how inquiry provides engagement. In other words, when the brain has to question, has to investigate, has to make sense of something, it actually increases engagement. And when the brain does that, we have to consider how relevant is this information and how essential is it. If the brain doesn't think it's essential, it'll just disregard it. And finally, you have to consider, how am I going to make this information accessible for everyone to support learning and access? Universal design for learning. So, activity 13.01. In this activity, you will review the science framework for your grade level. You will combine that learning with the learning from your team on the discussion forum. You are going to create a graphic for your universal design for learning and 21st century skills as it relates to science. You're going to discuss one suggestion illustration in TPE 6, and you're going to respond on the discussion forum. Now, for this, you have complete creativity and license as a team to decide how you're going to formulate this. You all have to provide information, but how you are going to create your graphics about the UDL, and then suggestions on what strategies would be best to use in the pedagogy, all those things are decisions that you will make as a team. Activities 13.02. You're going to now get into the meat of understanding how to do inquiry and inductive lessons. So you're going to review an IRIS module and understand the elements of differentiation. You're going to go to Edutopia and review and learn about Bloom's taxonomy. You're going to note the impact and the importance of leveled questioning on how people learn. You're going to create a student activity that illustrates your understanding of Bloom's, and then you're going to post this activity onto the discussion forum. Activity 13.03. Here you will go to the Annenberg website and you will read excerpts from 8 workshops on inquiry. You will then go to the Peters and Stout website on science. Then after that, You will use your activity notes and experiences from these two websites to prepare to create your 2 sequenced inquiry lessons. Activity 13.04. You're going to read Guillaume and Peters and Stouts for guidance, reference them for guidance, as you create your 2 lessons. You're going to observe a video about how a teacher uses a discrepant event to engage the student. This is the scaffold or the setup for learning. Then you're going to create your 2 lesson plans using the LPA assistant. You're going to share and constructively discuss your lessons with your team members. And finally, you're going to submit a summary of your cohort's comments. Again, you can decide if the comments are going to be specific to your lessons, or if you are collectively going to determine that these are the things that you have noticed or that you want to focus in on, and submit one summary of what all the thoughts are about how to create these lessons so that they are relevant to students. In activity 13.05, you're going to teach the lesson. You're going to collect and analyze student work, describe how you evaluate for mastery, and then describe the results of the universal design for learning. Now, 1305 and your personal reflection actually can be done together. After you teach the lesson, if you look at all the bullets and questions for 13.05, you will then, because they're focusing in on the lesson that you taught, you can create one well-crafted personal reflection and use it as the submission for both 13.05 and the personal reflection. I don't want you to do double work here. I think that you will find that it's going to be enough for you to just get these 2 lessons out there, created and out there, and all the communication you're going to need. So please make sure that you write a very strong personal reflection, and if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Thank you very much, and I think you're going to like this module.